welcome back to my channel. My name is Bria and it's been a minute, and unfortunately I am doing the thing that I said, I'm doing the thing that I said that I was not going to do, which was buy more books because of the disaster of what my TBR shelf looked like prior to this video and prior to me actually fixing it the last video. But hello, we have a special guest today, Nugget. He is staying in my room with me while my sister tours some houses with my family. But today I have a mini book haul for you. I know I said I wasn't gonna buy any more books. I know, I remember exactly what I said. But it can't be helped sometimes. It can't be helped. My sister, she got landed in the hospital, and so to help me, I went on some book buying shopping, okay? I needed a way to decompress, and that decompressing has led to more books being bought. So let's just get into it. Hi, Nuggy. Do you want to say hello? He doesn't want to say hello, but he does want to be all up in my face. Good God. Okay, all right. Oh, Nugget. Oh, okay. Good stretch. Good stretch. All right, go somewhere with yourself. Don't hit the camera. So we're gonna start this in chronological order. So I have about 8 books here. Nothing crazy, actually, to be honest. Like, that's not, and I've read 2 of them already. So when my sister got landed in the hospital, I knew there was just one woman that stop licking my feet. Stop it, Nugget. I knew there was one woman that I wanted to read, okay? And that was Katie Robert. So I picked up Radiant Sin. Radiant Sin is a part of her, I believe, her Dark Olympus trilogy. Yes, her series, actually. It's not a trilogy. I think there's going to be more books. It's a part of the Dark Olympus series. Bless you, Nugget. I've read Neon Gods, Electric Idol, Wicked Beauty, all of them. This one is my favorite. This one follows Apollo and Cassandra. It's kind of like this fall in love with your boss, relationship of convenience, a little bit of like a whodunit vibe, which is really fun and kind of new for her story, like for her type of writing. It has a little bit of mystery to it. Basically, Apollo and Cassandra get invited to this party from one of these outsiders who wants to be a part of the 13, which is like the 13 gods or rulers of Olympus. And so they kind of go in to do some like triage, but people are dying and shit, mysteriously getting hurt, a bunch of craziness essentially. So it was really fun, had this whodunit vibe, and I love the romance in here. It was like super sexy, like they were hot together, but I just loved Apollo and kind of how like shy he was with Cassandra, and I loved Cassandra and like how shy she was with him. So it was very cute. A lot of pining, which I love. I needed the pining, I needed the sexiness, I needed the lightness. It was the perfect book to read. Spice, always Katie Roberts, my girl, undefeated. So if you want to check out something new, check this out. At this point in the series, I will say you want to start with Neon Gods or Electric Idol. I started the series by reading Electric Idol, and then I read Neon Gods, and then I read Wicked Beauty. But at this point, you do want to read Wicked Beauty, Electric Idol, and Neon Gods before reading Radiant Sin. So that's all I have to say about that. Love Katie Robert. I kind of want to make a whole video all about Katie Robert because I love her that much. Okay, so this next book, I actually really don't know much about, so I'm gonna actually read this to you. It's Wahala by Nikki May. I saw this, all these are from Barnes&Nobles, by the way. I saw this when I walked into Barnes&Nobles, saw the bright cover, saw 4 beautiful black women on it, and I was like, you're coming home with me. But basically, so from what I can tell, there's some murder happening in this book. I don't know, because I did the first page test on this one, and I was like, it sounds like someone got murdered. Anyway, so This is what the synopsis says. Ranke wants happily ever after and 2.2 kids. She's dating Coyote and wants him to be the one, perfect like her dead father. Her friends think he's just another in a long line of dodgy Nigerian boyfriends. Boo has everything Ranke wants. Kind husband, gorgeous child, but she's frustrated, unfulfilled, plagued by guilt, and desperate to remember who she used to be. Simi is the golden one with the perfect lifestyle. No one knows she's crippled by imposter syndrome and tempted to pack it all in each time her boss mentions her urban vibe. Her husband thinks they're trying for a baby. She's not. I think that was also a line that kind of got me when I read the back of this. When the high-flying, charismatic Isabel explodes into the group, it seems at first she's bringing out the best in each woman. But the more Isabel intervenes, the more chaos she sows, and Ranke, Simi, and Boo's close friendship begin to crack. I'm so excited for this. So based off of that, you feel like it's kind of like a calm, not like calm, it seems kind of chaotic, but it doesn't seem like there's gonna be murder, right? Allow me to read you this as your personal first page test on whether or not you would like to read this, okay? Am I strong enough? The woman sits huddled in the corner of her bedroom. Her dress is ruined, the button missing, the belt ripped. One seam has come apart, exposing her bare shoulder. She's clutching a sculpture in both hands. It's a head, a little under life size. She stares into its unblinking eyes, willing it to come to life. She wants it to tell her that it's not her fault, that there's nothing she could have done differently, that she's the victim here. But it's made of leaded brass. It can't speak. With trembling hands, she places it gently on the carpet. Then, holding the split halves of her wrapped dress together, she clambers to her feet. Am I strong enough? She knows the answer. Justice must be done. Basically, this is dramatic as fuck, and you should read it. And the last book that I got from Barnes&Nobles is actually Your Driver's Waiting by Priya Guns. This book is a bit all over the place, I think, with this concept. So basically, from what I understand, is that it's about this woman who recently lost her father. She drives for an Uber-like service, and in her neighborhood, there's basically just like this big... Nuggy's crying outside my door, hold on. So yeah, so basically she is like this Uber driver in a world where basically it's a bunch of discussion about race, about privilege, all these things. And our main girl is just trying to grieve, drive for Uber, make money, and date. And that's when she meets Jolene, who is one of her passengers. She falls in love. Jolene is basically her white girl sugar mama. And then Jolene does something unforgivable. That's basically what the synopsis of this is. I kind of got into it. I only read the first couple of pages, but I kind of ditched it to read Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma, sorry. Which, Dating Dr. Dill, not my most favorite romance, but it was good. It was good, so I ended up reading that over this. I am going to pick it up after I read this next book that I'm going to talk to you guys about. So this book I actually got on Amazon. I'm trying not to do too much Amazon shopping anymore, especially after they got rid of My Girl Book Depository. I actually didn't know that Book Depository was acquired by Amazon, but the fact that Amazon got rid of the one website where I could get UK covers, yeah, fuck you, Amazon. So if you know any other place where I can get UK covers, let me know. But yes, this one last book I did get from Amazon, and that's because I wanted to read it really, 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 really bad. Okay, I was desperate. And that is Yinka, Where's Your Husband? And this is by Lizzie Demiola Blackburn. Yes, this basically follows a woman named Yinka. She's 30-something, she's very successful, and everybody around her is getting married. And her mother and her aunties are all pressuring her to get married. Some of her friends think that she's too traditional, and then her family thinks that she's really, really, really not grasping the importance of being married. And I've been really into these stories about women getting married late, especially Black African women getting married late, kind of pushing against these ideologies about marriage. And so I'm really excited to hear about her story. One woman on Instagram that I follow, she said that this was one of her favorite books of the year and that it made her cry. She shared a few passages from this book that made me just kind of like, okay, I have to read this. I have to give it a chance. Right now, my reading experience with this is that the chapters are a little bit dragging. And I don't know if it's just because it's like the first few chapters and we're kind of setting the story up, setting up the family members, setting up the characters. It feels a little slower paced. So I kind of think I have to really sit and immerse myself into this one. But I still am enjoying it. It just feels like not like necessarily an info dump, but just like a lot. And so it's kind of like stretched out. I found myself counting the pages to see when the chapter ends so I can kind of motivate myself. And I don't really like doing that while I'm reading, but so far that's not a bad sign because sometimes there are certain stories that are character focused like this one where that just kind of happens with. So I'm excited about this one, and it is my current read as well. Okay, so next up, I recently went to Changing Hands bookstore. In my vlog, you'll kind of see some clips from me there. And I love that bookstore. That bookstore is great. And so I actually picked up 3 books there. The way I was kind of, okay. I was going in there with the purpose of getting something that was romance. I was trying to stay away from the fiction stuff, but of course, like, they have an amazing fiction selection, but in terms of romance, they're kind of lacking. So I picked up one other book, and it's just like a sequel to a book that I've already read last year that I pretty much enjoyed. It wasn't like super spectacular, but it was my reintroduction back into my obsession with vampires, and that book was King of Battle and Blood. And so I got the second book, Queen of Myth and Monsters. This is the continuation of the series. I'm really excited. I forgot how into the story that I was. I picked it up and I read like a few pages of this. Aw, this is gonna be rough. So I think this falls into dark romance. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I think this falls into dark romance. The trigger content warnings for this is themes such as rape, assault, torture, and infant loss. And also, I really like this. It gives you all of the contact information. So if you guys don't know this about me, I am really much pro trigger warning. I think that if you're going to suggest something, especially in the dark romance realm or in any sort of realm where it's going to be a rough ride for a reader, you need to share what's going on in the story before you recommend that to somebody. And I know, like, sometimes I talk about what is the responsibility as like a regular reader versus a book influencer. All around, I think if you are recommending anyone anything, even if you don't really see yourself as a book influencer, personally I don't. I see myself as a chatty Cathy who talks about all the shit that she's buying and reading. Don't really necessarily see myself as a book influencer, more so see myself as a reader. But despite that, I think it's important because I am sharing a book with you guys or with an audience, because I don't know who's going to come across my story. I think it's so important to share trigger warnings. And I really like this new thing that we're getting into with books nowadays, especially in romance, where we're really being clear about what is happening in this book. Like, we're like, upon the first pages, before you even get to the first chapter, you are getting content warnings, you are getting a trigger warning page. And I think that's so amazing of publishers and authors, and I really applaud them for that, because like, it does take a little bit more, it does take burden off of like personal from readers themselves, and it kind of helps your readers trust you a little bit more. So I actually tend to find more comfort in authors. I can read dark stuff if you tell me that there's dark stuff in it. And again, my beef with everybody who shares Ice Planet Barbarians without actually saying that there is a graphic multi-page rape scene in the first book. Yeah, if you share that book without giving a trigger warning fuck you a little bit. I'm gonna be so real with you. I'm not a fan of that. That triggered the fuck out of me. However, I would have been able to read that had I been able to have the choice to do it. And I know it's like a responsibility as like a reader as well to like research things and research triggers. I promise you, no one has said anything. Like out of all the reviews, out of all the people who like actually shared it, no one said anything about that. So much so that I thought that I bought the wrong book. Anyway, that's to say, I'm really excited about Queen of Myth and Monsters. We're kind of continuing on. I forgot how you say her name, but we're continuing on with her story with her sexy vampire husband, Adrian. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. I think in the last book we were introduced to this like scary witch lady, and I kind of want to see how our main girl beats this lady's ass, okay? Because I want her to. I want her to F this woman up. So hopefully she does. Hopefully this is a setup for a third book, because if it is, I will die. But I'm kind of debating reading this one after Yinka Where's Your Husband? But I don't know. I have a lot of good books to choose from, so I'm really excited. All right, the next thing that I got from Changing Hands, and let me tell you, Changing Hands brings out the best in me as a reader, okay? It brings out the best in me as a reader. So this book I actually heard about, I think, from Books Unbound. And that is a podcast with Ariel Bassett. She was one of the first booktubers I've ever watched when I started watching booktube. Way back when there was like 10 booktubers. But this book is She and Her Cat by Makoto Shinkai and Naruki Nagakawa. Very excited about this. This is about, I believe it's about 4 women from the perspective of their cats. And literally, oh my gosh, you have to, it's a shorty. You can finish this in an afternoon, which I'm so tempted to just like stop everything I'm reading. Oh my God, it's only 135 pages. I'm so tempted to stop everything that I'm reading and just read this, because I want to know about these ladies and their cats. I need to know. I really, really need to know. But I'm so excited about this. I feel like this is one of those books where I'm kind of going blind into. Like they give you like this nice little passage on the back instead of giving you a summary. Which I think was a little bit more effective than actually having a summary on the back. I feel like this kind of explains the companionship, the kind of mood that we're in with it. I would read it to you, but obviously we can tell I'm not very good at reading it loud. So we're not going to do read out louds anymore. Okay, and this last final book I'm so excited about. It is actually a collection of poems. April is National Poetry Month, I believe. I thought that was in March. Apparently it's in April, which either way it sucks for me, because I mean I've been trying to write poetry more, and I have this National Poetry Writing Prompt thing that I usually do during National Poetry Writing Month, but I missed it this time. But anyway, I am so excited about this one, and this is what I mean by changing hands. Always, it makes me a better reader. It makes me just a better reader. This is Concentrate, the most beautiful freaking cover I've ever seen in my life. Like, I kid you not. This is Concentrate. It's by Courtney Faye Taylor. Oh, she's the winner of the Cave Canon Poetry Prize, selected by Rachel Eliza Griffiths. So, our girl's an award winner. This is Black womanhood and Black girl anger and Black woman anger. And it's just like, I don't know, these perspectives are just so intense. There's like an intensity there, and like I feel like there's like a whole thing about like Black woman rage, or there's a whole thing about female rage, but I never see female rage from the perspective of Black womanhood. So I'm really excited to see this. I know it's going to be a little bit more of a rougher ride. I already know that off the bat, just based off of the first poem that I read, but I kind of would like to read this interspersed with Yinka Where's Your Husband, because I mean this is like very much Black American experience. This is Nigerian British experience, but I would love to see kind of like the overlap. And sometimes when I actually read poetry along with a fiction book or nonfiction, things like that, I like their subject matter to kind of like blend in together. That's kind of like the English major in me. So where I can kind of like pull and contrast and like contrast about different topics or the same topic in different ways. And so that's really exciting to me. But yeah, that is all that I got from the bookstore. I know I was not supposed to be buying anything, but oh well. I mean, what the fuck can you do? Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, I would love it if you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys later. Please let me know what you guys are reading or what you recently bought. I'm excited to know. I'm trying to put together like a little list, a look forward to for 2023, so I can kind of map out what I would like to buy and kind of mentally prepare myself, do a budget for books. So tell me how you guys lay out your book budgeting. Do you decide it like month by month? Do you do it week by week? Do you do it based off of release time? What are you most excited for, and what books would you blow money on this year? Again, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!